All right, welcome back, everyone. So today we're diving deep into a match that, well, let's just say it had everyone talking. Crystal Palace, not exactly known as giant killers, they went and took down Manchester United.
Yeah, it was a shocker for sure.
And we're not just going to focus on the scoreline here. We're going to break down, the tactics, those standout players, and what this upset, what it could mean for both these teams as the season goes on. Big picture stuff.
Right, and I think this match, it tells us a lot about where both these teams are at right now. Crystal Palace, they didn't just get lucky. You could see the way they were thinking, their tactics, how the players stepped up. It all kind of came together to outsmart a team like Manchester United.
Yeah, I mean, think back to those first few minutes, right? Man U, they come out strong. They're hungry for that early goal.
Oh, yeah, they were all over them.
And it almost felt like they were like controlling the whole game, just dominating possession.
And they were, yeah. And, it's actually something we've seen with them, with United all season, right? They create tons of chances, but when it comes to actually putting the ball in the net, they struggle. It makes you wonder, right? What's going on with their finishing when the pressure's on? Are they overthinking it? Or maybe there's something tactical, something kind of rigid in their approach that's stopping them from adapting to how the other team is defending.
It's interesting because you had those near misses, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Garnacho cutting inside, that shot blocked at the last second. And then Mainu hitting the post. So close.
Oh, those are killers, man. Psychologically, those moments, they're huge. It's like imagine you're building this tower carefully, brick by brick, and right when you're about to finish, the whole thing just crumbles. It can really deflate a team that's on the attack. And for the other side, well, it gives them a boost, right? Like, hey, we can hang with these guys.
In Crystal Palace, they absolutely took advantage of that shift in energy, right? They didn't just sit back and absorb the pressure. They started pushing back, creating their own chances. Mitchell almost set up Munoz for a header, and then LaCroix forced Onana into a really tough save.
Yeah, and that's when you started to see those little hints of what would become Palace's winning formula for this match. They were patient, organized on defense, but also ready to pounce, to seize those moments when they popped up. It wasn't just some random turnaround. You could see a plan coming together.
Then, just before halftime, Mateta, he nearly scores. He just powers through United's defense and almost chips it over Onana. I mean, what was going through your mind when you saw that play?
Oh, man, that was like a warning shot, right? Like a little preview of what Mateta was going to bring to the table, the strength, that precision. You could just feel it. He was going to be a problem in that second half.
And he was. Second half kicks off, and we see Man U trying to hit back with that classic counterattack style. But Palace, they just kept growing in confidence. What is it about counterattacking that makes it so effective, but also kind of risky?
Right, so counterattacking, it's all about speed. You got to exploit those gaps that open up when the other team's pushing forward, trying to score. When it works, it's like, boom, a lightning strike. Devastating. But it also relies on being super precise, on perfect timing. If that final pass isn't spot on, or if the attackers hesitate even for a second, the defense can regroup and the chance is gone.
And we saw that right with Fernandes. Early in the second half, he had a great shot at goal, but Henderson came up with a huge save. But then a few minutes later, here comes Mateta.
Yeah, I mean, Mateta, he's been a different player since Glasner took over, right? He's this confident finisher now. He's not just in the right spot at the right time. He's creating those opportunities.
He scores twice, and both were, I mean, just beautiful goals. First, a powerful header off the crossbar, and then Munoz with a perfect pass, setting him up for a clean finish. Talk about clinical.
Yeah, both those goals were like textbook examples of Crystal Palace taking advantage of United's weaknesses. That first one, it came from a cross, perfectly timed, and it exposed how vulnerable United is when it comes to defending those high balls in the air. And the second goal, that was all about patient build-up play. They drew the defense out, created that space for Mateta to exploit, and bam.
And we can't forget about Martinez's injury, right? How that affected Man U's performance. Emreem, he tried to adjust things, but they just couldn't recover. Got to be tough for him, as a coach, having to deal with that kind of setback.
Yeah, when you lose a player like Martinez, it throws off the whole defensive structure. Amarin, he had to make changes on the fly, but it's never easy to make up for that kind of loss, especially against a team like Palace that was already playing with so much discipline, tactically.
So there you have it. Crystal Palace, the underdogs, they climbed the table with this win. It really shows how, smart tactics and players stepping up, it can all come together for a pretty amazing result.
This match, it really makes you wonder, right? Is this a turning point for Crystal Palace? Have they figured something out, a formula that can take them even further this season? And what about Manchester United? Can they get past these challenges and find their form again?
What a match. A lot to think about as we see how these teams do for the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Always a pleasure.